Do you feel like your soul has gotten heavier than any of the guitars that you own? Do you feel that 6 strings is just not enough, and maybe you've already gone to 7 and now you're thinking about an 8 or, God forbid, even a 9 string? Today we're going to truly find out which is heavier. Is it an 8 string or is it the ungodly 9 string? Let's find out. Welcome back to the Working Class Musician YouTube channel. I am Jimmy Franklin. I hope to always make sure that on this channel, I review gear that is affordable so that you don't end up buying something that you don't like. So to make sure that you never miss a video and you don't overspend, hit subscribe below, turn on the bell notifications, and you will never miss a video. So today, what I have here are 2 amazing pieces. Okay, so in this hand, I have the beautiful RG8, and in this hand, I have the Behemoth. That's not the name of it, and it should be. It is just an absolute monster. This is the RG9QM. Both of these guitars are ungodly of beast mode guitars. It's not even, ungodly is the wrong word. They are godly. That's exactly what they are. Okay, so real quick, let me go over some of the similarities and differences before we get into the tones. I truly don't think, it's just me, maybe it's just me. When I first got a 7 string, I felt like I opened up so much to so many different styles and so much more that I could do with the guitar. I don't know if an 8 string is the next step to that or not. I don't really feel like an 8 string is that much heavier all the time. And I wonder if it's necessary to just go right to a 9 string for those things that I'm hoping the 8 string would do. Or maybe there's a law of diminishing returns here. Maybe you get to the 9 string and you realize that it's not heavier, it's just harder to mix or something. I don't know, let's find out, right? So let's talk about some similarities and differences here. Okay, so the RG8 is a brilliant guitar at a very affordable price point. It really helps to have a guitar like this out for someone who's not really sure if they want to get into this. And typical of Ibanez, it is a great platform for you to start your journey on an 8 string because you don't have to spend a lot of money right away, but there are so many available options for 8 strings right out of the box. You could purchase the 8 string with confidence of just going to forums online and stuff. You could purchase it with confidence that you could buy pickups and tuning pegs and stuff like that ahead of time for when it arrives to you, and you could just put them on if you wanted to. It's very easy. Well, I shouldn't say very easy. It's easier than ever to find 8 string stuff. Now, in this case, it doesn't get much more simple than this. Ibanez pickups that are passive, we have 1 volume, 1 tone, we have a MERANTI body, and we have a JATOBA fretboard. MERANTI and JATOBA, the words sound like they are the names of the guitar players for a new prog band that no one's heard of. So anyway, it's just a standard RG body, which is sweet. It's exactly what you expect in comfort and in design. And then what we have here on the back of the JATOBA fretboard is, let me make sure I'm saying that right. Let me see. Yeah, JATOBA, cool, I got it right. And MERANTI or MERANTI. Oh, I said it wrong the whole time. I apologize, it's a MERANTI body. I'm sorry. Okay, I got that right now. On the back here, we have a 5-piece maple neck that has walnut stripes in it. We have 1 truss rod with this great truss rod cover that kind of slips out of the way so you can reach in there. Standard tuners, nothing special. We got big jumbo frets. Then on top of it all, it does have one of these recessed input jacks that has the big bolt and what looks like a rubber grommet in it, and they never go loose. So for a guitar that's this affordable and to have the same kind of attention to detail as on my Ibanez Prestige, that's huge. Now, this is gonna come in handy later, but this has 1 volume, 1 tone, and instead of the typical Ibanez 5-way blade, this is only a 3-way. See, 1, 2, 3. So I'm curious about that when it comes to tones, but I'm excited to find out. Let's go over to the big brother, which is the 9 string here. If you haven't yet watched either of the videos of the reviews I did of these or my first reaction videos, I will put those above us and go check those out and then come back here so you can see the comparison. So this thing is an absolute monster because we have a lot more classic of an Ibanez premium idea here, which is typically something like a basswood body with a maple cap. And that's exactly what we have. We have one volume, one tone, and then we have the 5-way blade, which I really, really like. And then, in this case, let me go over to the guitar cam. We have another 5-piece neck, but in this case, the fretboard is made out of rosewood, which I will tell you they don't use primarily anymore. They only did rosewood, I think, from 2014 to 2018. Now back over here. The 5-piece neck construction is actually another wizard neck, just like the H string, but it's the wizard 9 neck, and it's 3 pieces of maple with 2 pieces of BUBINGA running through it, which I'm just gonna say right now, the cool thing about 5-piece necks, the reason for them is that they're super stable. And with something like this, you need stability. What's cool about a 5-piece neck in any guitar is that if one of these pieces of wood wants to move, the other 4 will be like, whoa, buddy, take it easy. We're chilling, you know? So it won't move, and it's really great. And then on top of that, if that's not enough, if that's not enough, we have, let's see, let me get close. If that's not enough, I'll get my face out of here. There are 2 truss rods on this. Just to give you an idea of how ridiculous this guitar is. There are 2 truss rods. Count them, 2 truss rods. Again, we have jumbo frets, we have passive pickups. Both of them are Ibanez's pickups, just slightly different models. Same exact tuners. This one has a Graphtec TUSQ nut on it, which is awesome. With the exception of the choice of woods, they're pretty much identical feeling guitars. This one's just a little bit lighter in the body because this also has more wood on it. This is basswood with maple on top of it, and this is just one piece of MERANTI, as I messed up before. I might still be pronouncing it wrong. MERANTI, I don't know. Now, let's plug them in and see what happens. I'm not truly convinced here that a 9-string is just hands down heavier. I think that there's a law of diminishing returns that there's a certain point where you can't get any heavier, right? It just might be hard to mix and it might sound disgusting no matter what. So I'm curious, let me see, I'm gonna put this on so we can hear it. Now let's jump over to the guitar cam. I'm not convinced that a 9-string can be heavier than that. And I think that it's worth trying them side by side because you might not need to go with the 9-string. I think that that was a pretty good 8-string tone. Let's see though, here we go. Back over. It would help if I went to the same pickup setting. Okay, I might be wrong. I might be wrong about this because that sounded, in comparison, that sounded ridiculous. I just realized, however, how much thicker these strings are on this. So this is the point where I find out that this comparison is completely unfair and ridiculous. But I think the core concept still exists here. Let's think about it because like... right hand is killing me. Oh my God, I haven't had to beat James Hetfield ever like this. God, how does he do it, right? He just plays all down strums all day. Okay, back over here. I think when, I'm gonna try one more time, one more thing here. I think when you play the 9 string, keep in mind the 9 string is tuned down half a step, and I didn't realize that also till now, but the strings on the 9 string are a lot thicker. Let's go over here, let's check it out, right? So that's the same exact riff played on the 8 and the 9, and the 9 has such ridiculously thick strings, and I didn't expect that, but this was also set up properly with preferred strings for this guitarist, who is John Dalton from the band Adventure. Now, this one, however, came right off the line, and Ibanez is very good at sending out their guitars set up and ready for the majority of players. So I think that's why this one sounds heavier right now, because he put on these massive gauge strings. However, this one came, honestly, in comparison, the 8th string on this feels like it's a bass string when you first play it, but compared to this, which actually has bass strings on it, this feels like a toy. This low string, in comparison, this low string still feels like it's just a normal, 56 gauge low E string. And that blows my mind, because this thing really does sound heavy. And I enjoy both of them very, very much. There's no doubt that this one is sounding heavier, but you can get this to easily sound as heavy as this with the heavier strings. Also, I have this tuned to standard tuning as opposed to this, which is tuned half step down, and I didn't realize that at first. This can't handle being tuned down lower without a little bit of a setup right now. The low string is already super floppy as it is, and it would just start to crumble in the mix. Also, I do personally like having a 5-way blade as opposed to a 3-way blade switch, right? I think that, I mentioned this in the other video about the 9 string, is that this setting number 1 is great. But then if you switch up here, you get that jangle. But you get a little of that boing kind of sound, and I love it, that shake. It's almost like you can hear the shake of the string going on, which is really, really cool. This is my analysis, okay? If you already have played some 7 strings and you kind of already know what you want in your 7 or 8 string guitar, it may be time to try out a 9. I don't blame you. But I think if you jump in the water with a 9 going right from a 6, you may have no idea what you're doing. But I don't think that will limit your amount of fun. And if anything, I think that the 9 string does come with that 5-way blade that gives it more options. But back over to here, you could easily upgrade this to have Fishman Fluence in it, and maybe even put a 5-way blade on it for relatively inexpensive when you consider the amount that you're paying for this guitar right out of the gate. Yeah, that is a bit of a conundrum, isn't it? Either way, both of these guitars are absolutely fun as hell to play. I think it's worth saying that for someone who's going from a 6-string and more classic guitars and you want to get into extended range, I don't think 9-string is the best bet, but when you find one of these slightly higher end 9 strings that have basswood and maple and, like woods that you can hear in your head, guitar players know what I mean when I say that, as opposed to MERANTI and JATOBA over here that don't mean anything to us. I think this one's a little bit more of a gamble than this is to people's ears, but I think you could be pleasantly surprised and really deck this thing out. And I think that's gonna be my go-to in this situation. I'm gonna have to return this to John no matter what, but I considered sending both of these back and getting a 9-string and just calling it a day. I think I may be proven wrong. I will leave links in the description box where you can pick up an Ibanez extended range guitar from our friends at Sweetwater. The 9 strings are not currently available, I believe, but as soon as they are, you will have a link below to those as well. This is the Working Class Musician YouTube channel. I am Jimmy Franklin. These are 2 of the heaviest Ibanez guitars in existence, and I will catch you next time.